Yes, so this is load arm, and from here to here will be the effort arm. So 20 centimeter will be the load arm, whereas 60 centimeter will be effort arm. Now, second part you are asked, third C is the mechanical advantage. So in case of lever, mechanical advantage is what? As we are knowing effort arm and load arm, so we use that formula. Mechanical advantage will be effort arm by load arm. So it is 60 centimeter over 20 centimeter. So it is 3. The minimum effort required to keep the leg up. So in order to lift this, how much effort we have to apply? So principle of lever, effort into effort arm equal to load into load arm, or mechanical advantage equal to load by effort. So whichever you want, you can apply. So this mechanical advantage will be load over effort. So this effort is load over mechanical advantage, and load we have got 45 kgf, and mechanical advantage is 3. So 15 kgf will be the effort required, or 150 Newton will be the effort required. You can apply principle of moment only, that is load into load arm equal to effort into effort arm. From that also you can do. So answer will be same. Yes, any other?
The 12.
Number
12.
Number 12. Number 12 is a fire tongue has its arm 20 centimeter long. It is used to lift a coal of weight 1.5 kg by applying an effort at a distance of 15 centimeter from the fulcrum. So this fire tongue is lever of
third class.
so third order. Okay. So you may use symbolic diagram or you may use perfect diagram, no problem. So here is the fulcrum, load is somewhere here, and effort is at this place. Here you are given as arm 20 centimeter long. So length of the lever is 20 centimeter. Load is 1.5 kg. So this fireball is of mass 1.5 kg. Applying an effort at a distance of 15 centimeter from the fulcrum. So effort is applied at a distance of 15 centimeter from fulcrum. Sometimes distance will be given from fireball. That is, this distance will be given. Here you are given this distance. Find the mechanical advantage of the fire tongue. So what will be mechanical advantage? Effort arm is given, load arm we are knowing, so we use that formula only. Effort arm by load arm. This is equal to load by effort also, but effort is not known, so we will not use that formula. We will use this one. So this MA will be 15 centimeter over 20 centimeter. And the effort required. So effort either by using mechanical advantage load by effort or the lever formula. kgf or 20 Newton. If it is asked in SI unit, then you are supposed to give answer in Newton. So this effort will be load over mechanical advantage, that is, or you can apply the same formula, that is load into load arm equal to effort into effort arm. So from here also you can find no problem. So what will be effort? Load into load arm by effort arm. So it is 1.5 kgf. Load arm is 20 centimeter by 15 centimeter. So 2 kgf will be the answer. So either by this formula or by this way you can calculate. Yes. Next one. So rest all you have done. Then we will start pulley and pulley system.
Sir, 11 number A part.
11 number. Okay, figure 3.19 below shows the use of lever. State the principle of moment as applied to the above lever. Okay. So figures are given here. So this is, it is fixed effort and load. So this is effort here and this is load here. The name is given FAB. Okay. FAB. So this is the figure. So in figure you are given the symbol L, E, position F, A and B. So in terms of these symbol which is given in the figure, you have to write the principle of moment. So state the principle of moment as applied to the above lever. So we write according to principle of moment, what will be? Moment of load will be equal to moment of load about fulcrum will be equal to moment of effort about fulcrum. Now here, moment of load, we write L into FB will be equal to E is given effort into FA. So this is the way you will have to write. So mainly you are tested here to identify whether you are able to identify load arm or effort arm, and which is load, what is fulcrum, that you are able to identify or not. If you are writing like this, that means you have identified everything. This is load, this is effort, this is load arm, this is effort arm, that you have identified. So you will get full marks. Okay. Now B part is To which class of the lever does it belong?
Third
So
class.
here is fulcrum, here is effort is in between. So third order, yes.
Third.
Yeah, any other? Oh, C is also there. FA is 10 centimeter, AB is 490 centimeter. So FA is 10 centimeter. And this one is 490 centimeter. Calculate the mechanical advantage, the minimum effort required to lift the load 50 Newton. Okay. So MA will be effort on by load R, that is FA over FB. FA is 10 centimeter, FB is 500 centimeter. So mechanical advantage is 0.02. Load you are given 50 Newton. So this effort will be what? Load over MA, and you can use this one or load into load arm, whatever you want. So load is given 50 Newton and MA we have got 1 by 50. So effort required will be 2500 Newton. Yes. Or
Thank you, sir.
now, so we start fully. Or anyone having any other doubt?
No, sir.
No.
We should start studying.
Now, fully. So this is also simple machine. One machine we have already finished, lever, and other is pulley. If you are asked, give the example or name the machine which can multiply force, then what will be? We will write lever of second order. We will not write nutcracker. If you are writing nutcracker, it will become wrong. You can write lever of second order or pulley system, because pulley system is also used to multiply force. So like that you have to give it. Nutcracker, scissor, plug. This is not a type of machine. These are the examples of different class of lever. So if you are asked, name a machine which can do this work, then you have to write machine, that is either pulley or pulley system or lever, inclined plane, wedge and screw. So these are the machines. So now we study this second one, that is pulley. So pulley is a circular disc which is free to rotate about its axle, that is center, and the axis of rotation is at the center. That axis of rotation we call axle here. Now on this boundary or on the periphery, one groove is made. That is, the boundary is not like this smooth. What will happen? Some groove is made here so that the thread or the rope which is passing on this may not slip this side or that side. It may remain as this position only. So for that, groove is made. Means this plain surface will not be there. There will be something inside, that is each is made like that throughout this surface. So cavity is made throughout the surface like that. It is smooth one. So this we call pulley. This is we call axle of pulley. And this is also axis of rotation. So pulley will always rotate about this axis. The axis will pass through the center. Now, if this axis of rotation is fixed, it is not moving, it is stationary at a particular point, a particular position, then that we call fixed pulley. So in fixed pulley, what will be? Axis of rotation remain stationary. Whereas in case of movable pulley, this axis of rotation moves in a straight line. So in case of fixed pulley, what will be? The axis of rotation will be fixed, it will not move. Whereas in case of movable pulley, it will move in a straight line. That straight line may be up and down, or in some cases sidewise also, from left to right or right to left, that also may be. But generally, pulley is used to lift something load, so this axis of rotation will move up and down. So that will be the movable pulley. So we will discuss one by one. First, what is fixed pulley, then movable pulley, single fixed pulley, single movable pulley, and then after that pulley system will come. So we will start single fixed pulley. Single fixed pulley. So generally it is used to lift water from well. So in this case, what will be? This axle will be fixed, or it will be connected to a rigid support. If you have seen, You might have seen that above the well, one maybe a rod or maybe a wooden plank is kept, and the pulley is suspended from that rod or that wooden plank or wooden beam, whatever you may say. So it is suspended from that. So it is suspended from this rigid base. And what is done? One rope is passed over this groove. So one side of this, some load is maybe bucket filled with water or maybe any other thing which we have to lift. And the man is standing somewhere here and he is applying the force. Okay, maybe this is the suppose the man and he is applying the force on this rope. So this is the ground level and it is at the below, so it is lifted. Now man is applying force in which direction? Downward. So here man is pulling this rope in downward direction. That is the effort. So what will be the result? When man is pulling, this force is transmitted to this pulley here. So we are representing at this place, the pulley part. Or the tension, which will be equal to the effort. If this string is not breaking, that means it can bear that much force. So when you are pulling the rope will oppose. If it is not breaking, that means it is opposing. And this rope is also applying the same force on your hand. When I am pulling this one, suppose like this, we are pulling this side, but it is not coming. So when I am pulling, what is happening? Whatever force I am applying, that is applied to this marker. But marker is also applying the same force on our hand, which we are experiencing, which we can experience. So this we are applying the force on this pulley, on this thread or rope, that is transmitted to the pulley here on this groove on the periphery, and the similar tension or same tension is applied here. Okay. So this is the tension which is applied here, or this is the effort, you can say, whatever you are assuming. So man is applying the effort in downward direction, that is transmitted here, and the reaction is applied on the man, and man is experiencing the same force. Now this pulley will have a tendency to rotate in this way. As we are pulling this one this side, so it will have a tendency to rotate. That means rotation will be in this direction. So pulley can rotate only when this starts moving. Otherwise, if there is no friction between this rope and the groove, only the pulley will keep on rotating, but this one will not be lifted. So we are not interested in that situation. We are interested the pulley should rotate and this should be lifted. That is, there must be sufficient friction between this rope and the groove. But here, no friction should be there. So in order to avoid this friction here, ball bearing arrangement is used to minimize friction. Between axle and pulley. ball bearing arrangement is used. Or simply some lubricant is used. So that lubricant may be grease or mobile or any engine oil. So that is placed there. So our intention is friction should not be here. Between axle and pulley, no friction should be there. But here, there must be friction. Otherwise, the rope will start skidding over that, and that we don't want. So this will rotate only when, or indirectly, what will happen? Whatever tension is applied here, this is finally transmitted to the loop. And before moving, same reaction will act on this pulley also. The load will apply the reaction on this pulley. Yes, anyone having any doubt? So if it is not lifted before condition, that condition we are saying, so when whatever force we are applying, that force is finally transmitted to this place. This is applying reaction on this pulley. So this pulley in total how much force is experienced? That is 2T. And this force is transmitted to the rigid base. Now if this rigid base is very weak, in place of the strong rod, glass iron rod, we are using the rotten wooden one. What will happen? When you will pull it along with this one, and rigid base will break, and then whole thing will go into the well. So that's why this rigid base should be very strong. So this rigid base is experiencing force how much? 2T. And this one pulley axle is 2T also in upward direction. Okay. So when this one will be lifted, if this tension T is able to overcome this load, whatever one stone is there or bucket filled with water is there, whatever weight, total weight is there, useful plus useless, total weight, if this tension is able to overcome this load, then only it will be lifted. So to lift the load, what should be? This T must be greater than what? The load, total load. Or we say it is just equal. No, for example, suppose it is 100 Newton load and tension is applied 100.001 Newton. Then also it will be lifted. So 100.001 Newton, when we round up, it will come 100 only. So that's why we say either equal or more than load. So this T will be here. The weight of this one we say it is load. So total load means here weight of bucket, weight of string, weight of water. That is the total load. If everything is overcome, then only it will start moving. So minimum tension what will be? And this T is also equal to effort. So this effort must be greater than or equal to load. So if you are able to apply effort which is more than this load, if suppose we have to lift 100 Newton bucket plus water, then we have to apply more than 100 Newton here. If suppose weight of bucket is, weight of water is 100 Newton, weight of bucket is 50 Newton, and you are applying only 120 Newton, it will not be lifted. To lift this one, you will have to apply 150 Newton or more than that. So that's why we will have to overcome useful and useless both the load. Then it will be lifted. So minimum effort required is how much? To lift the load, this minimum effort will be, or E, simply we are saying that, okay, E minimum, that will be L. So if you are able to apply effort more than this load or equal to this load, then it will be lifted. So what does it mean? This L over E is 1. Here E means we are now minimum effort only we are considering. Now this L by E is what? Ideal mechanical advantage. So it is not a force multiplier. Mechanical advantage is not more than 1. So it is not a force multiplier. So this actual mechanical advantage, or first we'll see. What is the velocity ratio? If we want to lift this bucket by 1 meter, you will have to pull this rope by 1 meter down. When our hand is going like from here to here 1 meter, bucket will be lifted by 1 meter. So distance moved by load and distance moved by effort, both are same. So here distance moved by effort and distance moved by load are equal. So velocity ratio is also 1. Though as you know, ideal mechanical advantage velocity ratio is always same. So if ideal mechanical advantage 1, that means velocity ratio is also 1. So gain in speed, that means this pulley neither multiply force, mechanical advantage 1, not more than 1, nor multiply speed. Then for what we are using? We are using it to change the direction of effort. We are applying the effort in downward direction, which is transmitted to this load in upward direction. So single fixed pulley neither multiply force nor speed. It is used to change the direction. Now, why we are changing the direction? What is our purpose? We can lift the bucket directly by applying force upward. Then why we are changing the direction? Why we are pulling like this? Why we want this one? So why we are changing the direction? If you are applying the force in upward direction, the total force what is required will be applied by our muscles only. Whereas if you are applying force downward direction, then what happens? A part of our weight is indirectly acting on this rope. So sometimes if you are not able to pull, just to suspend yourself, so the whole weight, what will happen? If your weight is more than this bucket, the bucket will be coming up, you will be going down. You have not to apply anything. Simply you suspend yourself by the thread. So, or when you are pulling downward, indirectly what happens? A part of our weight is applied on the rope. So by our muscle or from our muscle, we have to apply less force. That's why we feel convenient. So we always prefer this one. We are not applying force directly like this. We prefer to apply this way. So frequently this is asked, why we use this pulley? When it is neither multiplying force nor multiplying speed, then what is the need of that change of direction? So by changing direction, what happens here? From our muscle, we have to apply less force because indirectly a part of our weight is acting on the rope. So when effort is applied downward direction, so when effort is applied downward, which we sometimes we call convenient direction. A part of our weight act on the rope and hence our muscle has to apply less force. On the rope. And hence, we feel convenient or comfortable. Okay, convenient. Or comfortable. So comfortably we are applying the effort in downward direction. That's why always we prefer to apply force in downward direction. So that's why we always prefer this single fixed pulley. Now in actual practice, what will be? Its actual mechanical advantage, will it be one? So this actual mechanical advantage, which is L over E, will be L minus X over E. So it is 1 minus X by E. So it is less than 1. Actual mechanical advantage will be less than 1. Due to the weight of the bucket or weight of the rope or whatever friction is acting between axle and pulley, due to this what will be, we will have to apply more effort than the actual load or useful load. So naturally actual mechanical advantage will become less than 1. But what will be the actual velocity ratio? If bucket is 5 kg weight or bucket is 50 kg or 10 kg weight, when you are applying, we are this pulling rope by 1 meter, whether it is 5 kg bucket or whether it is 10 kg bucket, it will be lifted by 1 meter only. So velocity ratio will not change. Velocity ratio will be 1 only. Whether it is ideal or whether it is actual, velocity ratio will depend only on the construction. And here there is no change. So velocity ratio is 1 only. So this efficiency will be how much? 1 minus X over E by 1. So this efficiency will be less than 1. Any machine, any practical machine will have efficiency less than 1. So though this machine, this single fixed pulley neither multiply force nor multiply speed, then also frequently we use in order to change the direction. And what is our purpose in changing direction? When we change the direction, indirectly what happens? A part of our weight is acting on the rope, so our muscle has to apply less force. That's why we feel by applying very less force we are lifting bucket, very heavy bucket. That is our feeling, but actually the effort applied is more than the weight of that one. Or whatever force you have to apply this way, total force here also same, but we are not applying. Our weight is acting on that. That's why we feel convenient. So this is single fixed pulley. Now next we shall see movable pulley, single movable pulley. Shall we leave up to here?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank